So today is day 49, and two things came up today that were really, that just made a big impact on me today. I had a huge fight with my father on the phone, which was really awful. However, part of me just could not continue on with not saying anything, and I couldn't shut up any longer. So it kind of helped me to look a little bit further into what it means to be a woman who's grown up with an emotionally abusive father and how it's affected my life. And it's actually affected my life a lot more than I've ever thought it has. So there's certain things that happen with me in my life and my personality, and certain things that I do that are a direct correlation to how I grew up with an emotionally abusive father. And there's more bits and pieces that I'm constantly discovering about myself when these things come up, especially as an adult and having done a lot of work on myself. When this kind of thing happens and I'm taken back to past traumas and things like that, I can watch myself a little bit more. I can be more of my observer self, so I can step back a little bit more. Even though in the moment I was very much engaged in the argument and felt a lot of fire and anger and just a massive feeling of enough is enough. I'm not going to put up with this bullshit and these lies any longer. I need to stand up. And that didn't really do anything, because he doesn't hear anything that anybody else says at all. It seems as though he may have a narcissistic personality disorder, but it was a chance for me to kind of recognize more of what I've taken from that emotional abuse into my personality and the way that I've been in my life. And I don't think I've given it enough attention. I haven't honored the fact that that was the way that I grew up and had to cope in certain ways to survive. Anyway, so that was that. And then I went into a swimwear shop to try on a bikini or something like that, anything, swimwear. And I tried on a whole lot of stuff and nothing fit. And the lighting in the dressing room was awful. And, I don't have a tan because I don't live here. And everything just looked so unattractive on me. And I tried on so many things and nothing was flattering, nothing looked nice to my figure, and it just brought up a whole lot of stuff. And I was in the change room and I was almost crying, and I just realized again, it was just more of a kind of like, a nail in a board, of the way that women are made to fit inside these boxes. We have these clothing that we're supposed to fit in. We have these swimsuits we're supposed to fit in, and none of them really fit us all that well unless we're a really petite size and, 15 years old or something like that. But nothing really fits properly, It's like you're trying to squeeze yourself into this image, and it's a really unhealthy image. It's for men to look at you, and even the photographs of swimsuits that we see, they're all taken by men. They're not taken for women, and it just really pissed me off. I got really pissed off and really upset and really frustrated that, I have a specific body shape, and it is a specific body shape. I know, because I used to be a clothing maker, and it's very hard to find something to fit my body. And it brought up a whole lot of stuff that has to do with things that my husband has said about my body, and just the whole societal norm of what it is to be a woman and how we are supposed to present ourselves to the world. It just made me so mad. So that's something I'm really passionate about, and something that really kind of bursts forth from me sometimes is just that rage and indignation of the way that women are perpetually put in boxes through social media and the way that we're brought up through the eyes of men and all of that really unhealthy stuff that's going on. And I long to have that box just broken and women stop feeding into this bullshit that we're fed, because we are not our tits, we are not our asses, we are not our flat stomachs, we are not our perfect fucking tans or our straight streaked hair. That is not who we are. We are wild and beautiful and vibrant and passionate and wise and uncontrollable and a pure expression of life. We are so much more than what we appear on the outside or what the clothes are that we wear. And it just frustrates me so much, because there's nothing more beautiful than a completely naked female body. It doesn't matter what size or shape you are. When a woman is naked, it is absolutely beautiful. In my books, as far as I'm concerned, the female body is such a beautiful sight to behold, no matter what shape or size. And it absolutely frustrates me that we as women perpetuate this false identity that does not empower us at all, but only brings us more sadness and misery. And I was speaking to a teacher on an aeroplane on the way over here to Australia, and he had been a teacher for 35 years in Victorian Canada. And he was saying that 70% of young girls at his school have eating disorders. 70%. And it's not unusual for a girl to be anorexic or bulimic these days. Young women are starving themselves. They're hating their bodies, worrying it's not right. And what are we doing as women ourselves to stop that, to put an end to that? What are we doing? You know, why are we buying into the hype and the social media and all the shit that is put in our faces? Why are we buying into that? Why are we wearing these stupid bikinis that don't fit, that are uncomfortable, that stick in bits where they're not supposed to be sticking in, where our body isn't free to be what it is? Why do we buy that shit? Why do we do that? Anyway, so that is day 49 for me. They were my thoughts today, and it was a day of unrest, and there was parts of beauty in it. I went to the beach and I swam in the wild ocean. It was crazy. I got to hang out with my sister and her friend in the sun. You know, I got to give my sister a raindrop technique. That was absolutely beautiful. And there was also a lot of unrest in this day, and it made me wonder about, I had a friend who used to say that I was never happy anywhere, and you know, she was really good at manipulating people to look after her wherever she went, and very good at manipulating people to do her will, and was very unable to look after herself. However, I've always been able to look after myself, and I haven't really chosen the easy path. And now that I look more deeply into the emotional trauma that I've been through since a child, I now understand why. I now understand why I've chosen the hard way and the ways that I've had to defend myself, which has resulted in me kind of having to deal with hard things in life. And it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person or that I don't do this enough or I don't do that enough. It's just my path. And hopefully through all that and all the learning and all the trauma that I've been through and all the emotional shit and all of this and that, hopefully that somehow I can be an inspiration to somebody else and help somebody else through that and help them understand themselves more and see clearly so they can move forward. So that's day 49.